When I went bankrupt, my daughter was about 14 months old, and I'll have been 27, 28. And the only stories that people were telling me were, when you're bankrupt, that's it, you're over, your life's fucked, you'll never restart. So I mean, I didn't really know any different. You know, I'd never worked properly for anyone else. I'd always dabbled around in my own businesses unsuccessfully before I made them successful. So I was never worrying about what other people thought of me. But yes, I was very worried about how I was going to come out of the other side.
Because the word bankrupt, if anyone hears that,
it feels a very terminal word.
Yeah.
But I guess also at the same time, I also knew, I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, but I knew I would not allow myself to stay in it. You know, just because at 27 years old, I knew I was unwilling to work for someone else, probably unemployable, and I needed to get back on my feet somehow. But I guess I was blessed with no knowledge around it, but with the self-confidence that I was going to do something about it.
Right, let me stop you there. People who are watching this might be in the situation of bankruptcy, like everyone's saying about me, but you've just made a really good point. The word bankruptcy, people are embarrassed or they feel like a failure or this or that. People can go bankrupt for many different reasons. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you can't, even if you lose everything or whatever. But you just made a good point. A lot of people can't cope with that. So either do commit suicide or go down a shit hill, like hit rock bottom, and sometimes don't ever come back up. But you made a good point, like what I'm going through at the moment, is you got through it. It was shit, really shit, but you thought to yourself, I have to do something about it.
I think, and
that's what everyone should do.
I've probably never said this before, but I think one of the most important things as well you need to think about bankruptcy is people get really, let's say, really worried about it and into depression, and like you say, can kill themselves, can all sorts. But you know, they're doing it because they're thinking, you know, it's this end terminal thing. But I think what you actually also need to appreciate, and this is why having someone to hold your hand, having someone who's been there before, and having the right advisors around you is so important. But what you've got to understand is you're going bankrupt for a reason, because you've got insurmountable debts. Therefore, if anything, you need to look at this bankruptcy as not the end of the tunnel, but also almost like the beginning of the light. Because how can the bankruptcy actually be worse than the shit you're suffering right now?